second of every day, news is breaking all around us. From the tragic to the triumphant, from the dead serious to the derisiously funny. There's more news than we can keep up with. Metro TV is committed to bringing you only the news that matters. We go wherever the story takes us, from the voiceless to the headlines. My name is Bridget Otoo. Join me here on Newsnight on Metro TV. Right, and we know Zambia will be going to the polls on August 12, and Zambia's presidential elections are scheduled for August 12, 2021. And the polls will elect the country's next president and members of its National Assembly, and they will feature a tight contest between the incumbent Edgar Lungu and his ruling Patriotic Front versus the opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema of the United Party for National Development. Currently, the country is confronted with staggering foreign debt, and high-profile scandals have contributed to perceptions of worsening corruption. A third wave of COVID-19 in that country continues to keep Zambian children out of school. The state has also been accused of violently silencing independent media houses, leading to an atmosphere of intimidation and fear. Amid all this, how is the country gearing up for the polls? And we'll be going on Zoom to speak to Mainda Simataa. Good evening to you, Mainda Simataa. You are a candidate for the August 12 elections, and you are vying for position of a councillor and also double as an information and publicity of the main opposition party. Earlier, I had actually seen a tweet from the opposition leader saying that his security was under threat. How is he doing? Where is he at the moment?
Thank you very much, Metro TV. Thank you very much, Ghana, for hosting us.
Right.
And I would like to put on record that these elections that are coming in on 12 August are one of the most chaotic, one of the most brutal, violent, and repressive in the history of Zambia. The main contender in this election from the opposition side. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so the main contender in this election from the opposition side is the president of the United Party for National Development, UPND, that is Hakainde Hichilema.
Right.
And from the word go, he's been a victim of police brutality. He's been a victim of all the state institutions that are under the control of the incumbent president Edgar Lungu, who has refused to adhere to tenets of democracy. President Lungu has instructed the police through the Inspector General to clamp down on all opposition activity, and in particular the movements of President Hakainde Hichilema. Of course, COVID, which you have alluded to in your introduction, has been used as a scapegoat to limit the operations of the opposition party. And currently, President Hakainde Hichilema is in the north of the country. He's canvassing for votes, he's campaigning there, but even that has been accompanied by tear gas as well as violent attacks. His air permit has been revoked. He's had to drive from town to town, and it's only that this evening that was allowed to fly to the west of the country, in the western province. So, basically speaking, the atmosphere in Zambia has been that of repression. It's been that of police brutality. It's been that of brutality coming from the cadres of the Patriotic Front, the ruling Patriotic Front, and that has induced the deployment of the military. And that's a big issue which yourselves have reported on, as well as CNN and Al Jazeera. The question has been, why has President Lungu deployed the military for the first time ever in these elections?
Why is
all
that?
Those issues surrounding
Why
the judiciary, the police, and
Simataa, can you hear me?
Come again?
Why is that? Why has he deployed?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, why has he deployed? Because you are painting a picture of a very gloomy situation, especially directed at the opposition. Why is that? Is it that the opposition is really making inroads and think can cause an upset in this election?
Thank you for that question. The first thing that must be noted is that the Patriot Front, which has been in power since 2011, has presided over the most corrupt kind of governance system. You mentioned to say Zambia is in debt. Actually, it's one of the most indebted countries at the moment, with a debt that is running towards $30 billion. So there is a mass poverty and mass unemployment in Zambia, especially amongst the youth, who are the majority. And the backlash has been that the United Party for National Development has garnered so much support everywhere across across the various demographics of the country and provinces, including the north, which the ruling party considers to be its stronghold. So there is that fear that should the opposition come in, should President Hakainde Hichilema win the coming elections, which is very, very likely, there could be a hunt for the corrupt, and there could be issues of accountability and trial to bring them to justice. So that fear of them being brought to justice if they lose the elections is what has caused them to clamp down on democracy. And now there's been a spate of violence which is sponsored by the ruling Patriotic Front, and so far 2 people have been confirmed killed in one of the constituencies, which is called Kanyama. And we as the opposition know that this violence was simply sponsored to give President Edgar Lungu a scapegoat for him to deploy the army. Of course, the narrative coming from the government and President Edgar Lungu himself is that they are deploying the military in order to keep peace. But we have a different point of view. We think that the military is being used to advance the political agenda of the ruling party, the Patriotic Front.
All right. Thank you very much, Simataa. Thank you very much for speaking to us, painting a picture of what the security situation is like in Zambia. Zambia is Africa's second largest producer of copper, and yet they went into recession last year since 1998. How will these impact the election on August 12th? We'll find out. We're taking a quick break. We'll come back with more.